Hello everybody, welcome to 2-2, solving equations by multiplying or dividing. So our goal for today is, again, we're still in one-step equations and we want to solve them using multiplication or division. And you will find that this is very similar to solving by addition and subtraction I should say. We're going to use inverse operations again. So as I said, it's similar. So we're going to use inverse operations. Now, a reminder, once again, in case you forgot these, inverse operations would be addition and subtraction, and then multiplication and division. And remember the rule from yesterday that whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. That still applies today. So we'll start out solving equations using multiplication. So you'll see here we have -8 equals j over 3. Now, one mistake that happens a lot is people don't think that the fraction bar and division are the same thing, but they actually are. So this actually says -8 equals j divided by 3. So again, just like yesterday, we ask, what's happening to our variable? Well, here's our variable j, and it's being divided by 3. So what's the opposite of divided by 3? Well, multiplying by 3, you say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by 3, and whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So over here, if you think of this like fractions, you can see that the 3's cancel each other out. So we just have j. And then 3 times -8 is -24. So then we have j equals -24. Let's look at another one. Here we have n divided by 6 equals 2.8. So again, what's happening to my variable? Well, here's n. It's being divided by 6. So what's the opposite of dividing by 6? Multiplying by 6. So I'm going to times by 6 on this side. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I'm going to times by 6 on this side. Over here, my 6's cancel. So I just have n. And then here, I just need to do a little multiplication. So 6 times 8, 48. Carry the 4. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 4, that's 16. And then I have one decimal spot in my multiplication, so I have to have 1 in my answer. So I get 16.8 for my answer. So that's how you solve equations using multiplication. So if your variable is being divided, then you multiply to undo that. Let's look next at how do you solve equations using division. So here's our first example, 9y equals 108. Now remember, if there's not an operation written, it means multiplication. So we have 9 times y equals 108. So again, here's my variable. What's happening to it? Well, it's being multiplied by 9. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So then I'm going to divide by 9. And you can see here the 9's are going to cancel each other out. Now, I did that to the left side, I have to do it to the right side. 108 divided by 9. Now, I'm pretty sure that that's 12, okay? But if I didn't know that, I could do a little long division over here at the side. Of course, I wouldn't need my calculator because I have one between my ears. So 9 goes into 10 once. Remainder 1, bring down the 8. 9 goes into 18 twice. That works perfect. So then that's 12. Okay, so if you didn't know that, you could do that out to the side. Here's another one. We have -4.8 equals -6v. So here's my variable v. It's being multiplied by -6. So then I'm going to divide by -6. And again, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. -6 is going to cancel. So I got 4.8 divided by -6. Now again, if I don't know what that is, I'll do a little division. Now hopefully you know that since they're both negative, my answer is going to be positive. Now remember, with division, the decimal point comes straight up top. And then, let's see, 6 doesn't go into 4, so I'm going to put a 0 there. 6 does go into 48 8 times. And that works out even, so my answer is just 0.8. and it's positive because it's a negative divided by a negative. So that's how we solve using division. Now you also run into some that have fractions. Now these are always fun. Here I have 5 6 times W. Okay? So again, you know, what we normally do is say what's happening to W? What's being multiplied by 5 6. So I want to divide by 5 6. Now this is where you gotta remember a lesson we learned in Chapter 1. Remember, when I'm dividing by a fraction, okay, whatever I am dividing is the same as keep it, change it, flip it. So dividing by 5 6 is the same as multiplying by 6/5. So I'm just going to do this instead, because that's what I'll end up doing anyway, so I'll just save myself a step. So when I have a fraction, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply here both sides by 6/5. 6's cancel, 5's cancel over here, I'm just left with W. Over here you say, well, I have a fraction and a whole number. How does that work? Remember, if we have a whole number, we can always put it over 1. Now here it'll be helpful for us to cross reduce. So let's see, 5 goes into 24 times, 5 goes into 5 one time. So then I have negative 4 times 6, which is negative 24, over 1. So I don't have to put that over 1 part, so it's just negative 24. So when I have a fraction, I want to multiply by the reciprocal. Let's look at another one. Here we get 2 fractions. That's always fun. So I have 3/16 equals 1/8 times z. So again, z is being multiplied by 1/8. So I want to divide by 1/8. Well, dividing by 1/8 is the same as timesing by 8 over 1. So let's do that. Times by 8 over 1. Over here, the 8's cancel and the 1's cancel, so I'm just left with z. Over here, let's see, I can cross reduce. 8 goes into 8 one time, 8 goes into 16 two times. So across, I got 3 over 2. And that would be the same as 1.5 if I change it to a mixed number, but I don't have to do that. I can just leave it as 3 over 2. So when I have a fraction, I want to multiply by the reciprocal. Now the final thing we got today is our favorite, woohoo, story problems. So here we got, I think this guy's name is Ciro. I don't know. If you know how to say that, let me know tomorrow. Ciro puts 1/4 of the money he earns from mowing lawns into a college fund. This year, Ciro added $285 to his college fund. Write and solve an equation to find how much money Ciro earned mowing lawns this year. Alright, so let's say X is the amount of money that Ciro made mowing lawns. Now he puts 1/4 of. Now hopefully you remember from chapter 1 that of means multiplication. So 1/4 times, and then we just said that X was the money he earned, so 1/4 times X. So 1/4 of the money he earns goes into his college fund. He put $285 in his college fund. So 1/4 of the money he earned this year is going to equal $285. So there's our equation. Okay, just like yesterday when we see a story problem, we want to write an equation and then solve it. So then I have 1/4 times X. So that means I need to divide by 1/4, which is the same as, everybody say it now, timesing by 4 over 1. Okay, so over here, these guys cancel out, and I'm just left with X. Over here, let's see, this is a whole number, so I'm going to put it over 1. 285 times 4. I don't know that off the top of my head, so let's do a little multiplication over here at the side. I think, if my math is correct, that's 1140. And we're talking money, so that's dollars. So he made $1,140 mowing lawns, and he put $285 of that into his college fund. Okay, that's it for today. Hope you guys are all having a good night. We will see you tomorrow.